Hello my lovelies, and welcome to the Spirit Tarot and Healing Arts YouTube channel. If you are new, welcome back. If you're a returning viewer, I'm Rin, and today's video is a flip through or a walkthrough of the Insight Edition's Alice in Wonderland Tarot deck. Now, we've talked about Insight Editions before. I swear to the gods, this company drives me batty. Now, I broke down and bought this deck, even though I'm steering clear of Insight Edition decks at this point for the most part. Some of them are very nice quality decks, but almost all of them are pip decks. We've discussed before my feelings on pip decks, so I'm not going to delve deeply down that rabbit hole. Even though I can read with Marseille, even though I read with playing cards, if it's not a Marseille tarot deck, I prefer my tarot decks to be fully illustrated. It's not that I can't read with a pip deck, it's just not my preference. But I saw the artwork for this Alice in Wonderland tarot deck, and I'm a big fan of the story and all the different variations of Alice in Wonderland, and so I broke down and got it, partly because I wanted to use it with the Midnight Magic tarot deck. I wanted to use the two of them together. And I gotta tell you, this is the most disappointed I have been in an Insight Editions deck out of all. This is the Insight Editions deck that I'm telling you right now, I do not recommend that you buy this deck. And I know that's very unusual. Usually whatever deck I show you guys, I absolutely love and really enjoy. I do love the artwork in this deck, but the deck itself, no. And we'll get into why. Now, one of the things is, if you have followed me, if you've seen my review of Hocus Pocus, the Insight Edition's Hocus Pocus tarot deck, you know that I completely disregard Insight Edition's guidebooks. They did it yet again in this one. I don't know who does the suit assignments and correspondences at Insight Editions, but yeah, I'm a little confused by whatever it is they think they've got going on. So yet again, just like in the Hocus Pocus deck, where they very much confused what the suits are supposed to correspond with, they got it a little closer in the Alice, but if you read it, the suit that they associate with fire and the suit that they associated with air, they actually split up what corresponds to the element of air over both of those suits, which just does not work. And I don't remember, they assigned intellect to one and communication to the other, and I'm like, intellect and communication are air. So they've done it again where they've just jumbled the elemental correspondences. I completely ignore what they have in the book. You could just throw it out, honestly, in my opinion. Now, it does have a little color insert of the card and upright and reversed meanings. However, if you look at the backs of the cards, despite the fact that they have reversed meanings, this deck is not actually meant to be read reversed, because you can very much tell which way the cards are oriented by the design on the backs of the cards. Now, I can get around their elemental confusion. I just read the cards with my elemental correspondences, so that's not a big deal. You do have to figure out which suit is which, because the 4 suits in this, let me see if I can show you in the book here. Understanding your deck. Okay, so they have 4 suits. So you can see we've got the 4 suits of flowers, hedgehogs, spears, and teacups. Teacups, pretty obvious. That is the suit of cups. Spears, they associate with the suit of air, so those are your swords. Hedgehogs are earth, which makes them your pentacles, and the flowers are associated with fire, which makes them your wands. The other big issue I have, and let me clear these out of the way so that hopefully I can find a way to show you this on camera. I don't know if it'll show up. This is not as bad as it was. My husband has shuffled and shuffled and shuffled to try to make this deck workable. The cards stick together. In fact, when I was organizing this deck to do this video, I could not find the full, both myself, one of my sons, and my husband went through the deck numerous times, and finally my husband was able to find the Fool because it was completely stuck to the back of another card. And even though we had gone through the deck several times, it wasn't until my husband actually happened to get them all to jostle apart that he finally found the Fool, because they stick together. But you can see this bend. This is how the deck arrived. It was this warped and distorted. It was completely unshuffleable. I could not get it to work. The cards stuck together too bad because of these gaps. I overhand shuffle. I couldn't do it. I cannot bridge shuffle. My hands just won't do it. However, my husband is a pro at bridge shuffling, so he's been trying to work with these, bridge shuffling them to get them all to go the same way. Basically, he's trying to bend them all in the same direction for me. And if you followed me, you know I hate it when my decks are bent. You know that I don't shuffle bridge style, not just because my hands won't do it, but also because I don't like to warp my decks by bridge shuffling. But he has been working with this, and this is after hours of him working with this deck, trying to get them all to conform to the same direction, and there's still this much chunking. I've tried setting them under a stack of heavy books. I really don't know that this is ever going to be a readable deck for me. I've done some stuff on my own, but I would not use this deck for a client at this point, because I just would not trust the shuffle that you get from this deck to be good enough for a client reading, because it arrives so damaged. Now, just to be clear, had I bought this at the local store, I would have taken it back to the local store, gotten another copy to see if I could get a better copy of the deck. Unfortunately, I ordered it from Amazon, and there's only like 2 post offices in our whole city, and they're a real pain in the butt to get to. There's lines out the door, and so it is just easier for me to take this as a loss than it is to get the shipping label from Amazon to return it and go through the whole process of returning it, because I can't just arrange a pickup where I live. So because of our postal system issues here, it's just it'll be more of a pain in the behind for me to return this than to just try to make this workable, or consider repurchasing the deck down the road from a store here so that I could return it if I do get another horribly printed deck. The other thing is, and you guys know me, if you followed me, if you've seen my other ones, I know a lot of people, a lot of readers have issues with the thickness and quality of Llewellyn decks. Generally speaking, I don't have too much of a problem with them. The only Llewellyn deck that I have that I think is like on the really like almost too thin side, too flimsy side for me is it the Dark Woods Tarot? It's either the Dark Wood Tarot or the Dark Woods Tarot. I can't remember if it's plural or singular. Forgive me. That one's on the flimsy side for me, but I can still, since I overhand shuffle, it works. This is so flimsy. Honestly, this is the flimsiest deck in my collection. It is not the same quality of cardstock as my other Insight Edition decks. Now, I ordered this off of Amazon, so normally if I got something that was this badly damaged and the cardstock was this flimsy, I would question if it was a counterfeit deck, but I got it from the publisher's shop on Amazon. So yeah, I don't think this is counterfeit. I think this is the real deal, given where I got it from on Amazon. And I'm extremely, because I wanted to love it so bad because I love the artwork, but I'm extremely disappointed. And like I said, I've played like Solitaire with this, or I've tried to. Even that's difficult because of how the cards stick. So I've played some of my tarot games with it, and I have done readings for myself. I think that the deck would read really well, but seeing as how I can't get a good shuffle with it, I don't trust it for client readings. That's just where I stand. So while it is gorgeous as far as the artwork goes, and even despite the fact that it's a pip deck, I don't recommend this one just because of the absolute abysmal quality of the deck that I received. So, you know what? I highly doubt anyone from Insight Editions is ever going to come across my deck reviews and my deck walkthroughs. But if anyone from Insight Edition ever comes across this, you have gotten the privilege to do decks from some of the most beloved TV shows and movies out there, and you are not doing some of these justice. The Garbage Pail Kids deck was on point, loved it, beautiful, fully illustrated, by the way. However, I don't know what the heck you were thinking with this cardstock, but it ain't it, and that could be why I have all of the issues that I have with this deck is the cardstock that you use. So really, you know, even if you don't want to do fully illustrated decks, if you want to stick with pip decks, at least give us a quality deck, please, because, you know, I'm not going to read for a client with this when I can't trust the deck because of the way it was manufactured. All right, now that I've said all that, I'm still going to show you the full deck because this is a deck walkthrough. The art is gorgeous. I just want you to be fully aware of the issues that I have had with this deck. And, you know, I try not to just have a biased opinion because it's Insight Editions. Since I was aware this would be a pip deck, I went into it expecting that, knowing that, being okay with this particular deck being a pip deck. But my goodness gracious, no, just don't is my personal suggestion. But I'm still going to show you the deck. So without any further ado, let's flip through the deck. Alright, my lovelies, that has been a look at the Alice in Wonderland Tarot deck. Like I said, I absolutely love the artwork. I think the artwork is gorgeous. And the pips are on the boring side, but still, they are at least coherent in art style, I feel, to the majors and the court cards. I think those are absolutely gorgeously illustrated, and I really love them. I really want to love this deck, but it just from a practical sense, I can't really depend on this deck or use it because of the quality of the deck itself. But those are my 2 cents. You are welcome to form your own opinions. If you have this deck, let me know what your thoughts are on it in the comments down below, because I'd love to hear from you. I'd love to know if this is a pervasive problem or if I just got a one-off of this deck. So if you have this deck, let me know what your thoughts and feelings are on it, what the quality of the deck you received was, because I'm really interested to hear from others on this. So let me know if you've had an experience with this deck. If you've enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. That really helps out. If you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel, because that helps out so much. If you are looking to learn tarot or any of the other things that I teach, you can check out the mentorships on my website. Everything is one-to-one mentorship. You get time just with me helping you learn the cards or whatever it is that you are wanting to learn. Also, I always recommend journaling for a variety of reasons, but if you have a new deck and you're learning a new deck and working with a new deck, I highly recommend journaling. And I do have a line of journals that I offer, and I dedicated an Etsy shop just to my journals, so that will be linked in the description box below as well. But until I see you again, blessings to you wherever your journey finds you.